All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another segment by Technical Option Traders. If you guys been watching my videos, I humbly ask if you guys can like and subscribe to the channel so you can help me beat this algorithm, right? So today we're gonna get started with our analysis. So if you watched my previous video, this is what I was talking about on the S&P 500. If you guys look here, so we marked a low, we had a higher low at this level, and I said this is a trend line that we have going. If this is continuing to hold, we can be bullish up here. So we can wait for this break at 460 and then I'll take a trade to the upside. But we wanted to see this trend line hold a little bit. So today we had a trend line break and we had a break of support. So we had two breaks, right? This is confirming a bearish sentiment, right? The other thing that I want to pay attention to here is volume. The volume today is not the greatest, right? But the range and the movement of price is very strong as it has taken out this particular range here. And since this particular time frame, which is on April 6th, I've been talking about this MACD crossover, something to look forward, something that can tell us that possibly we can be gonna sell off further. So this was on this particular day, and since then the market consolidated and now it finally sold off. So we can possibly wait to see if market bottoms here or where does it go, right? So right now we don't have a bottom in sight. We do know the previous support level is right about here, which is 427, and below that is about 410 here. So if it can go below 410, it can possibly go to 385. So we'll see if that actually happens. But this is something concerning that we are watching. Stock market, like I've been mentioning in my videos, is not able to make new highs. It is in a long-term consolidation. And if you guys, and as I've been warning you guys that this area is from when the Fed's minute were released, and this is marked when Jerome Powell will speak. Okay, so this is the area, and I've been warning us in this area we're gonna get a lot of volatility, a lot of weird price action, and that's exactly what's happening, right? So the stock market is moving down drastically. A lot of the stocks and sectors that were strong are not strong anymore. They're taking off from the top. And what's interesting to note today, if we look at the weekly time frame, we have a long wick, like this is what I was talking about, and the body is just getting extended. So today is the last day of the week. We want to see where it finishes. If it finishes at 427, that's a very bad sign to me. I'm thinking that we're going to go a lot further down, a lot faster. Okay, so that's something to keep an eye on with SPY. And let's look at the triple Qs here. Okay, so looking at the Qs, we'll get into the sector talk as well and see how the sectors are doing. But looking at the Qs have been the weakest link out of the market so far. It's because like they've gained so much momentum over the course of the last 2 years. So right now we've actually entered into a long-term distribution, which is starting to break down on the Qs. Right, this is a distribution right here. So price unable to get above this level and staying below it. If it breaks 318 or 315, we're gonna go all the way down to 278. Okay, so it's getting there right now, right? And the way the selling candlesticks are very aggressive, this is just due to increased volatility. Okay, and if we look at the weekly chart on the Qs, this looks like absolutely like it's gonna just break down here completely. Okay, so we got nothing great on the Qs that we want to hold on to. I'm not going long Qs right now. I'm actually short. I have shares of SQQQ on for a short-term basis. This market is all over the place. I don't like to hold on to any position for a long amount of time. If the Qs break, it's going to give us a lot more sentiment to trade to the downside, and this could be a very fast move all the way to 275 if this does happen. Price, now remember, price can come down to 316 and it can hold there, and it doesn't, and then it can start to consolidate right at that level before it decides to break down. So as soon as it touches 316, don't just start building your short plays. Wait for the confirmation, okay? So that's something to keep in mind. But right now, definitely everything is looking bearish on the Qs here, right? RSI is well below. MACD is just going all the way down here. So that is something to keep in mind of, okay? So if we look at IWM looking frothy as well. If you guys have been watching this, this is a bear flag. Finally, we get a break. But I'm still waiting for this break right here at 187 with confidence, so I can catch that move to 170. Right, so that's what I see on IWM, the small caps. All right, so this could be due to like the remarks from the Fed and a market finally absorbing everything and starting to sell off. So they did say yesterday they're going to raise interest rates higher and faster. So this could be a reaction to that, right? So you always need a few days to confirm the price action, and you always need some time to figure out what's going to happen. So that's why it's always worth waiting. Do not, if you miss a trade, that's okay. You can always retake a trade, right? So always wait for price action to confirm, but IWM looking very weak here. If it breaks below 187, we can go down here, right? So Dow Jones was actually strong out of all these sectors, and look what Dow did. So I was looking for this retest. Unfortunately, it didn't hold it. It's just completely breaking down now. Okay, it's going back down to this level. All right, so that's something to keep in mind of Dow. Like, it's in this long-term consolidation zone still. Needs below 330 before we can go to about 323. So this is just a long-term consolidation under Dow, nothing else. Right, so this is breaking trends all over the place. Unable to get above here. The downtrend line still strong on the short-term basis. Okay. So VIX, I've been talking about this, right? If we get a pop in VIX, we're going to see a thing in a downturn in the market. But obviously, that's something that's known. But something important to know is that VIX is holding a higher level here. Okay, this is a higher low. Okay, so this is something that's holding, and that's usually bullish. So if VIX continues to hold this level right here, and it continues to trend this way, that's not good news for the market. We do need the VIX to break down here. But something that's interesting that's happening today here is this. Gold is breaking down with the market. And that's usually not a good sign here. But however, gold is in a long-term accumulation. It's looking like between 186 and possibly 176 is a 10-point range here. But I'm not bearish gold until it gets below 175. So short term, I will probably exit my trades on gold and focus on something else. But that's my trigger point right there at 175. If 175 breaks, gold will break down a lot faster and a lot harder. But so the whole market selling off is not a good thing. So that's something to keep in mind of. Now let's get into the sectors here. So the top sector that's down, healthcare. Okay, so healthcare made new highs right here. And whenever a stock breaks out or a sector breaks out, always wait for a retest and a pullback to the upside. Right now, this sector is looking like it's going to break down. Okay, so it makes sense that the market's coming down, the healthcare is coming down as well. Look at tech. Tech sector is coming down. This is the range that it's in. So tech is breaking down as well. Okay, so this is also causing the market to completely fall down. Let's look at the semiconductors next. Semiconductors are breaking through this head and shoulder pattern. It's looking like they got support at 216. This is a very, very, very bad sign for NVIDIA and AMD and any of their tech stocks like TSM, LRX. So that's something to keep in mind. So that's how our alerts go off. And as soon as they do go off, they do go into our community here, right? So this is something to pay attention to. So we do have this service as well, where we trade within our community. So if we look at XLC communication is breaking down aggressively here, right? So remember, this is not a market of stocks. Sorry, this is not a stock market. It's a market of stocks. So always keep that in mind when you're thinking about certain stuff, okay? So this is very, very critical that, all these sectors are breaking down. So Jets were finally about to break out today, and they rejected. So something's happening in the market that is causing fear to come aboard and basically collapse everywhere. Okay, so if all the sectors are down, then obviously the market is going to turn down too. So if we want to understand that why S&P 500 in particular is down so much, I want you guys to have a look at this. Go to Yahoo Finance. I showed this in my other video as well that I uploaded today on how to avoid fake outs. Right, we're going to go here, we're going to search up SPY. Okay. So when we pull up SPY on Yahoo Finance, what we're going to look for is holdings. Right? When we go under holdings, we're going to see what is weighted and how, which sector is weighted. So, okay, tech makes up about, 25% of the sector, right? Of S&P 500. So that's XLK. XLK is tech. Okay, that's 25%. And then healthcare makes up 13.66%, as well as, let's look at financials. XLF. XLF is down about 2% too. Financials make up 13.9%. 13.19, sorry. So this is 51%, just these three sectors alone. If 51% of the sectors are bleeding, makes sense that the market's going to bleed as well if we look at the S&P 500. Okay, so that's why it makes sense. S&P 500 is going to this 427 as we're speaking right now. It's falling, so it makes sense that these sectors are down. So S&P 500 is going to come down as well, and it's going to come down hard and fast. And that's why today's trade on SPY could have worked out aggressively for you if you were just watching the sectors. Okay, so this is something to keep in mind of. So the market looks very scary right now. It's very volatile. It's a very big move in a short amount of time over the last few days here. So this volatility has increased substantially, and next week we have earnings in some big names. So that's something to pay attention to as well. The market is not showing signs of strength. It is showing signs of weakness. So be careful when you're trading and just don't get faked out, right? You will get other setups. You don't need to make $1 million today. You can make it another day. So don't rush. Okay. So just overall, the market is very, very frothy, all over the place. Do not, get overwhelmed in trying to trade every day. Okay. Just wait for your setups. And this was analysis for the week. Hope you guys have a great weekend. If you guys have any questions, you guys ever want to reach out to me, you're more than welcome to leave some comments. And please like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys next week.